Hare Krishna, a very warm welcome to all the devotees to our program of Srimad Bhagavatam study. In this segment of Srimad Bhagavatam study class, we are organizing a Shloka memorization workshop. This workshop is designed mainly to give opportunity to the participants attending our Srimad Bhagavatam study program, and they are given the opportunity to learn a specific verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, an important verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, and after learning, they are given the opportunity to recite it, to explain the word meaning of the Sanskrit, to explain the translation of the whole verse, and then maybe give a small commentary or a little narration about the importance and significance of the verse, mainly from Prabhupada's commentary or from other Acharyas' commentary. Overall, this is our 28th class. So today's verse is from the chapter number 9 of Canto 1, 14th verse. This verse is from Bhishma, Lord Bhishma's discussion with Yudhishthir Maharaj. We will start discussing this verse, but before that, we'll do a brief Mangalacharan. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraye Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaye Namo Namaha. Once again, a very warm welcome, and I am displaying the verse that we are going to recite today in the class in front of you. The verse can be described in one line or in very short, very brief. Time controls everything. So today we will discuss this verse. We will give opportunity to the devotees assembled. So Rakesh ji, we will start with you. So kindly switch on your camera, and then maybe we will hide the verse. We will not display this on the screen so that you give the opportunity to recite it without referring to it. Yeah. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Sarvam kalikritam manye bhavatam cha yadapriyam sapalo yadvashe loko vayurganavali.
Very nice. Yes, Prabhu.
Sarvam, all this. Sarvam.
Sarvam kalakritam manye. Yes.
Sarvam kalakritam. Sarvam, all this. Kalakritam. All of time. All this is done by the time. Manya, I consider, I think. Bhavato. So cha. For you also. Yad. Whatever. Apriyam. Detestable. Yadapriyam. Sapalo. With rulers. Sapalo. Yadvashe. Yadvashe. Under the control of the time. Loko. Everybody in this world, in this planet. Vayu, Ghanavali, Vayu, wind carried him as Ghanavali, a line of clouds.
Very nice. Yes, Prabhuji, very good. Nice job. Please continue.
Dev said, सर्वम कालकृतम सर्वम कालकृतम मन्ये
भवतां च यद प्रियम
यद प्रियम भवतां च यद प्रियम whatever unpleasant, detestable has all been happened to you. It is, in my opinion, it is only due to the inevitable time. Time controls the world, including its protectors, just as the wind controls the clouds.
Yes, प्रभु जी.
अर्थ हुआ प्रभु. ये तो इसका आगे इसका रेफरेंस ये है कि बीइंग अफ्रेड, जब ये युधिष्ठिर महाराज बहुत डर गए थे युद्ध के बाद इतना नरसंहार देखकर, तो वो वहां गए, उसी साइट पर गए जहां ये मैसेकर हुआ था, और वहां भीष्म देव जी शरशैया पर लेटे हुए थे, विच वाज अबाउट टू पास अवे. So he was very disturbed. Bhishma Dev understood that he was very disturbed, and he said, he spoke first about their sufferings, and he said that it was all due to injustice. It was in verse number 9, Prabhuji. And it was due to injustice, and because of this injustice only the battle was fought. So there is no need of disappointment or regret. He also said that they were protected by the Brahmanas, the Lord, and the religious principles all the time. And if they were protected by these three, there is no reason to be disappointed. In this verse, Bhishma Dev says that everybody in this world is controlled by the time, which is the supreme call, which is the forceful representative of the Lord. The forceful representative of the Lord. Everybody has to suffer. Everybody has to suffer for the actions of the time, however pious he may be.
Yes.
तो ये बत्ती गुल हो गई, 5-6 पॉइंट थे.
नहीं आपने 5-6 पॉइंट थे, तो पॉइंट्स आपने अगर लिखे हैं तो रेफर करके भी बोल सकते हैं, वो कोई बात नहीं. चैंटिंग उच्चारण में ही आपको हेल्प नहीं लेनी है, या हेल्प लेने की कोशिश नहीं करनी है. तो हेल्प लेके भी बोलना चाहें तो बोल सकते हैं, ऐसा कोई. जी हाँ, देख के बोल दीजिए, कोई बात नहीं.
So in this verse, Bhishma says that everything in this world is controlled by Supreme Call, a forceful representation of Lord. He should not be sorry for the inconceivable action of time, as long as one is within the condition of its material world. He should not think he has committed sins in the previous life and now he is suffering the consequence. Even the most pious has to suffer the conditions of material nature. Then he says, time is actually, what is time? Time is actually the will of the Lord. And Lord wanted you to face these difficulties. He arranged like this so that you may face these difficulties. And then karmic reaction is different from the will of the Lord. Because they were pure devotees, so how can past misdeeds act on them? It is only because of powerful factor of time. So be calm and not lament. In Sarat Darshani, Yudhishthir was, Shril Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that Yudhishthir was direct incarnation of Dharma and known as Dharmraj. How can he not have a sense of Dharma? And a person following process of Dharma cannot have prarabdha karma. So the suffering in his life came due to time and not due to the karma. It is due to the will of the Lord that cannot be countered and that cannot be explained also.
Yes, very nice. So we covered it. Yes. Okay, thank you very much. So, very good. Now we move to Jivan Prabhu. Manish Prabhu, would you also like to recite?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, please go ahead.
Okay, Prabhu. Just starting my camera. 1 second. Oh. Can you see my picture?
Yes, we can see you. Yes.
Okay. Sarvam kalakritam manne bhavatam cha yad apriyam sapalo yad vaso loko vayur iva ghanavali.
Very nice attempt. Very good. Only thing is maybe pronunciation may have some scope of improvement. So,
okay.
Sarvam Kal Kritam Manye.
Sir.
I think you are trying to remember using English. Is it? Or
correct.
So if you read Devanagari, you will have a better sense of this Aki Matra. So Sarvam Kal Kritam Manye Bhavatam Cha Yadapriyam. Sapalo Yad Vashe Loko. Sapalo Yad Vashe Loko Vayu Riva Ghanavali. No worries. आप फिर से आप कर लीजिएगा. But now we can move to the word meanings, Sanskrit word meanings.
Yeah. So word meaning Sarvam means we all. Sarvam Kalakritam is inevitable time which we are looking. Yeah. Manne is I think. Bhavatam is for all the whole universe or whole planet.
No. Bhavatam is a pronoun, respectful pronoun.
Bhavatam cha yada.
Bhavatam means aap.
Okay. Aap. Okay.
जैसे एक तो होता तू, तुम और आप. हिंदी में we have very informal pronoun, we have little more formal, and we have very formal. So aap we call it out of respect or very formality. So Bhavatam is a Sanskrit pronoun which is used very respectfully. So here Bhishma Pitama is using Bhavatam for Pandavas.
Yeah, for you all. For you all. Bhavatam. For you all. Apriyam is something unpleasant, something dislike things are happening. Then Sapalo. Sapalo is for Sapalo Yada Vashe Loka. Sapalo means for all the rulers. And Vashe Loka. Loka means for all ordinary people or on all the planet. Loka, full planet. Vayur is wind. Vayur Iva. Ghanavali. Ghanavali is nothing but the clouds, the line of clouds. So this is what is the word meaning.
Yes.
So yeah. So here I think this verse is talking is spoken by Bhishma Deva, who is lying on the beds, arrow beds, and Yudhishthira and all Pandavas have come to meet him. And then Bhishma Deva is telling that whatever has been happened, unpleasant things are happening to Pandavas, is because of this inevitable time, which is controlled. So we don't have any control over it. It is all controlled by the Supreme, and we have to just pass this time away. And similarly, this is also like an analogy or example is given like how the winds carry the line of the clouds, how the winds push the clouds from one place to another, something like that. So this is all a time control philosophy that whatever inevitable time the Pandavas have been suffering for all these years, this is all controlled by the Supreme, and we have to overcome it, and we don't have to lament on it. Whatever is happening, the good things or the distress, we have to take it positively and move ahead.
Yes. So is it only taking positively, or is it something here? The meaning of Kal Is it some special meaning, or is it a regular meaning for ordinary living entities? The meaning of word Kal.
Cannot get it, Prabhu. Maybe you can elaborate.
Okay, we will elaborate. Maybe in the end, I will take it. But let us give opportunity first to Jivan Prabhu also. He can also explain, and then we will go to Jayamala Mataji after Jivan Prabhu. Yes.
Can I
Yes,
go
Jivan
ahead, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, actually, this verse is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 9, and text number 14. Sarvam kalakritam manye bhavatam cha yadapriyam sapalo yadvashelo sapalo yadvasho loko vayo rivaganavalihi.
Very nice. Yes, Prabhu. Please continue.
Now,
with the
word by
Sanskrit.
meaning, I'll go ahead. Okay. Sarvam is all this. Kalakrita means done by inevitable time. Manya means I think. Bhavatam cha is respecting addressing to the Pandavas or the Yudhishthira. Yad apriya means that is apriya means unwelcome. This unwelcome things. Okay. Tapalo means or with all the rulers. Yadvishi means in their under their control of them. Loka means everyone in the planet. And Vayo is the Vayo means that is the air. Ganavali is the line of clouds. This translation actually goes like this. Actually, this is being addressed by Bhishma Deva to the Pandavas. In my opinion, this is all due to inevitable time under which whose control everyone in each and every planet is carried, just as the clouds are carried away by the wind. This is the analogy which is being used. And here I would like to give this thing also context also. This verse is the 14th verse. This verse is spoken by Bhishma Deva to the Pandavas, and in his deathbed. In verses 1 to 4, actually this is the 14th verse. I will just give a small brief of up to what is up to 14th verse. It's only 1 or 2 lines. In verses 1 to 4, the Pandavas along with Lord Krishna go to meet Bhishma Deva. He was there in his deathbed. In verses 5 to 8, and many of the people, many of the great souls arrived to the particular spot. In verses 9 to 15, Bhishma Deva welcomes all the people, and he worships Krishna and speaks affectionately to the Pandavas, and he sympathizes with their sufferings in verses 12 to 13. And in verse 14 and 15, he expresses that everything is due to the influence of time. That who is actually the time is here being represented by Prabhupada is as a forceful representative of the Lord. Analogy in this verse is Vayu Riva Ganavali. That is time control. Vayu Riva Ganavali. Just as wind controls the clouds, Vayu Riva Ganavali, time controls the world. Sarvam Kala Kritam. That is the everything is controlled by the factor called the time. That is explained as Sapalo Yad Varshe Loko. This is being explained. Yad here refers to the column. Actually, here there are two things for any situation in life. There are two things. Only the karmic reaction. And here, suppose if we get some suffering in our life, it is due to our previous karmic reaction that which is because of which we do the suffering. But here, now Bhishma Deva convinces Pandavas, it is not due to your karmic reaction that you are all in such a situation. It is because of the time factor, which is also a forceful representative of the Lord. You are in this situation. So I mean, it is all everything. This is a part and parcel of God's will. It is a God's will. Actually, that this thing, here the Kala represents the energy of the Lord, and that is the will of the Lord. So it is not due to karmic creation. Don't be worried about because you have done all pious acts, nothing to worry about your karmic reaction. It is all due to the will of the Lord. Even Lord Brahma is also not an exception. That's what Prabhupada states in his purport. And as far as Yudhishthira is concerned, he was actually a Dharma Raja, or he was the personification of Dharma. There cannot be any question. This is explained by that this one, Sarartha, that is the Darshani commentary. Actually, you are also mentioning in the class. But in your case, you are the personification of Dharma, and there is no question of any sort of a karmic reaction. It is only a time factor, and thus he tries to convince the Pandavas and Yudhishthira. This is what I have to say in this mistake.
Yes, Prabhuji, very nice. Okay, thank you very much. Very nicely explained. Okay, now we move to Jaimala Mataji. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Bhagavatam 1.9.14 Sarvam kala kritam manye bhavatam cha yat priyam sapalo yat vashe loko vayo riva ghanavalihi.
Nice. Yes. Nice, Mataji. Yes.
Done by Bhishmadev about how the time factor is very important in this world. Bhishmadev is lying on the bed of arrows on the Kurukshetra battlefield, and Yudhishthira, accompanied by his brothers and in presence of Sri Krishna and other sages and demigods, they come to see Bhishmadev, and in this context, Bhishmadev instructs Yudhishthira Maharaj on dharma. He says, Kalakritam manye bhavatam cha yat apriyam. So Bhishma first empathizes with the Pandavas that they had to undergo a lot of unpleasant reversals throughout their life. And he says that in his opinion, these were all ordained by time. And he says that this time factor influences not only ordinary mortals, but also the rulers and denizens of the great planets. That is Sapalo Yat Vashe Loko. Then Bhishma Dev gives an example. He says, Vayor Iva Ghanavalihi. So he says, just like the clouds are helplessly moved by the wind from one place to another, because clouds have no independence to stay at one place. So they move as the wind blows. So similarly, the living entities in this world, they do not have independence. And by the passage of time, they come in contact with pleasant and unpleasant circumstances. So hence, that time is very powerful, and because it is the forceful representation of the Lord. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Very nicely explained. All the devotees really deserve my real gratitude and appreciation for taking up so much effort and explaining these verses. It's very nice. Now, once there is one thing that I would like to make a little mention here. So Kala is time, and we are discussing nowadays creation in second canto. There also we are studying about Kala, time. So time is very forceful, a very strong energy of the Lord, right? Or we may call it the Lord himself is manifesting in this material world in the form of time. It is a very powerful energy of the Lord. And Kal could mean karma also, and Kal could mean will of the Lord also. So, for example, we have Prarabdha karma. Prarabdha karma means we have done some karmic, papa in the past, or we have some activity for which we are ordained and destined to get some karmic reaction. That also happened because of the time. So, Kal is also causing karma to manifest in our lives. So Kal is also connected with karma. But in the case of pure devotees, Kal actually is manifesting in their lives as the will of the Lord. So that is what Yudhishthir Maharaj is being convinced, because he is very distressed. He is a Dharmaraj, so his natural reaction is whatever so much bloodshed has happened, it is only because of my people wanted me to see to become the king. So only because of me to become the king, this bloodshed has happened. So he was very feeling very guilty, and he was not getting consoled by anyone. Lord Krishna, even many other sages, was not getting any solace. So Lord Krishna very expertly takes him to the battlefield to Bhishma Dev, and Bhishma Dev gives his opinion. Kal Kritam Manye. Manye means opinion. It is my opinion, my dear Yudhishthir, that all whatever unpleasant has happened with you, it is because of time. And here, when Bhishma Dev says that it is because of time, it can have possibly two meanings. It is because of prarabdha karma of Yudhishthir, or it is because of the will of the Lord. So in 14th verse, it may not be very clear, because it is it because of prarabdha karma, or is it because of the will of the Lord? But when we read 15th verse, it becomes more clear. And then by the time we reach his 16th verse, it becomes absolutely clear that in case of Yudhishthir and Pandavas, it is not prarabdha karma, because Yudhishthir Maharaj is Dharmaraj himself, and if Dharmaraj himself is doing unpious activities, then what kind of Dharmaraj he is, as mentioned by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So only other cause that may have been causing these unpleasant activities is because of the will of the Lord. So the Lord wanted to have this Mahabharat war, and Pandavas were chosen as his instruments through which he conducted this Mahabharat war, and all this bloodshed has happened. So this is mainly what this verse means in this case. For our case, and then this example of Vayur Iva Dhanavali is very relevant here. Like the cloud is helplessly carried away by the Vayu. If Vayu blows in north direction, the cloud goes in north direction. The Vayu blows in south direction, the cloud goes in south direction. It does not have any control, any resistance over the action of the Vayu. Vayur Iva. Iva means an analogy. Analogy. So the point is, dear devotees, that with this analogy, the Bhishma Dev is trying to say that for things where we are feeling really helpless, then we can't do much. So there is no need to lament. There is no need to lament. So that is how he is trying to console. Bhishma Dev is trying to console Yudhishthir Maharaj. So another point that I was reflecting upon when reading this verse is that becoming a close associate of Lord is not an easy job. In our lives also, sometimes we find that there are many assistants. Say, for example, if there is a very great sannyasi or a great spiritual leader, and people around these great people, we might think they are so fortunate, but we must understand that their lives are not easy. Because even with the associates of great people, a lot of great endeavor, a lot of great tolerance is expected. So Pandavas were dear to the Lord mainly because they could handle, they could manage, they could tolerate such great inconvenience like massacre of their own relatives and family members and so on. So this is one thing which I was reflecting upon, that becoming associate of the Lord is not an easy job. So that was my little reflection on this verse. So, but I would really appreciate all the devotees who made an attempt to share the recitation. Thank you very much. So with that, maybe we will continue to conclude this class. All glories to Srimad Bhagavatam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Are there any questions? Maybe we can take a brief question, but I think it should be clear with all what we discussed, 4-5 of us. So if not, then we move to the next session. I'll stop the session here, close the recording.